Happy Equinox, Spring 2022. I'm Camilla Blossom, and I'm joined by these other wonderful souls with me. And I want to introduce Eliza too, who's in my land alchemy class. She might be sharing some of her beautiful light language with us today. And I'm just really excited. This is like a really powerful time on the planet. Also, just equinoxes are super powerful for balance. And this one has just so much energy streaming in that can help us like open to these new frequencies, these new light codes, these new energies, whatever it is that we're ready for and want to receive. And also kind of we can use this energy to really springboard into what action or what beingness or, what we want to move into at this time. So to invite you to really tune in. So why don't we do a little grounding, and then I'm going to jump right into doing an oracle reading with 3 cards. So I invite you to pick the number 1, 2, or 3. And then I'll be sharing more about those. And then we'll do a meditation after that. Right. So why don't we just bring our one hand to our heart, the other to our womb or hara. And I like to kind of settle in, invite, gather up our energy. Take a deep breath. I've kind of set up sacred space already and done some honoring of the lands, but if you want to tune into the land and the indigenous tribes from your lands and give an acknowledgement and honoring, and also honoring the spirits, the sacred spirits of Gaia, of the land where you live, and inviting them to take part, and including the multidimensional fairies and elves and she and dragons and these crystalline beings, and recognizing that we're not just working with the fairies of like a plant or trees or on the earth, but we're really opening to the multidimensionality of Gaia and of this earth and of the connection with the stars and all of creation. I like to work with the grandmothers, invite them in, 13 spirit grandmothers. You can invite your personal guides. And we'll just ask to set sacred space. And to do that, really radiate your own light. Instead of shielding, protecting, I like to just radiate out our beautiful light, our consciousness. Let yourself shine. And also allow all these energies to come through from source and great central sun, the cosmic sun, and the sun, connecting with that crystalline grid, allowing that light to move down your crown and all the way through your body, through your feet, and into the core of Mother Earth. So you're receiving the energy from above and letting it flow all the way through your body and down into the beautiful earth. Ground into her core, into her crystalline grid. And then allow yourself just to gently receive the earth energy, that nourishment and love from Mother Gaia. Let that gently move up your feet, your legs, and into your body. Nice. And just feel that nourishment. And just allow yourself to ground. I know some people ground connecting with the crystals and crystalline energy, others like trees, tree roots. So just let yourself fully become present, circulating the energy and opening to receive. Beautiful. And so I invite you to tune into numbers 1, 2, or 3, and then I'll go through cards 1, 2, and 3. The first 2 are from my Fairy Activism deck, which has since been the name shifted to Sacred Spirits of Gaia. But it's a collection of cards that are all the different spirits I work with. elementals and fairies and dragons and mountains and trees and plants. So it's a really fun and beautiful deck that Andrea Dumbecki illustrated. And this is, what's 3? Is that your number? Okay. So the first 2, I'm going to do this. And then the third one is going to be from my Sacred Spirit deck, which is the flowers and places in the gorge. And the reason I wanted to do both was because the elementals and fairies really want to come in and work with us, but also today is the anniversary, the 22nd anniversary of me making the flower essences from these. And so these cards are all the wildflowers in the Columbia River Gorge that I've been creating flower essences for 22 years. And I also wrote a book about it for those that want to get more into flower essences and that magic. And then also I have sets of essences that if we want to, we'll bring those out when it's time. So that's kind of the decks they come from, and kind of a way for me to bring through and express my enthusiasm and love for these spirits. So, all right, well, let's just get started. And we're just tuning into that equinox. You can also tune into kind of a question or just what kind of energy, who do you want to work with? And we'll see who comes forward. So it's interesting. I'm gonna put this up on the share screen so we get a better view of it. Okay, can you guys see that? Okay. And it's interesting because it's really been the fairies and the she that have come in strong lately. And they were a strong part of the last meditation that you can find on YouTube. That they were coming in and they really wanted us to see them as kin, see them as blood relations, you know, as like part of us, soul relations, star relations. They're fairies that come, these are the high dimensional fairies. Some people see them like ascended masters in that kind of evolution, that they really overlight and oversee and carry very high frequency. And really they came through during times where they had relationships with humans on the earth, and then as things changed and the energies of the earth fell, the she were able to needed to go underground and go into the mounds, which is what they're named after. So I think I'd just like to open with them for a moment with you and just bring access to their energies, open that, allow you to just connect directly with them. And there may be some messages, there may be some frequencies. I'm curious if there's some light codes too, light language. Elisa that wants to come forward.
Can you explain, you said they're named for the mountain. Can you explain?
From mound, yeah.
The mound.
So there's mounds of earth, which to me kind of represent like a womb space, like a pregnant, fertile earth. And they were known to live within there, within the earth, underground in these other frequencies. It's almost like inner earth beings in a way, but not super, well, I shouldn't say where they live, but they are, yeah, that's kind of where they got their name, the she, from these mounds. And I'm learning myself about them, but they are, let me see if there's something else. I'll just read what I wrote here, because part of it is about claiming your fairy roots. I am of the she fairy race named after the sacred Celtic mounds. I welcome you with love into the other world to bridge magical and physical realms of nature. Upper, middle, and lower worlds are now one. Return to the magic of your blood and soul lineage. The she fairy king is a gift for you. A golden cross to represent the crossroads where all directions meet. Fae treasures await when you claim your true lineage. And if you look at the cross on the picture, if you imagine receiving, this is the gift I was given by the king. So if you can just imagine taking this cross, this energy of the golden cross, and placing it in your heart as a gift from the she, and allowing that to be like a key that will unlock and open any of the energies from your lineage that is regarding the fairy race, fairy connections with your ancestors. So they're asking us to really ground that connection, ground our hearts into the earth, and remember our own fairy lineage by connecting and asking them to be present with us and to open those doorways that will bring a flow of these gifts and energies from your ancestors, from the she, from the time when they danced as one with humanity. So that's what we're really returning to, is that sense of home, the sense of feeling home with our kin. And we start by allowing those energies just to settle in. So receiving.
They're coming through.
Yeah, I can feel them now, really.
Do you want me to?
Sure.
Anda huya hiya yotokorki. Ay 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 oh. Ay 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 oh. Hey oh yes ay. Ase ay ay oh. Ay 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 oh. Hey, hey, hey.
Thank you, Elisa. It's so beautiful. Felt like an activation transmission for us. It's really lovely and help us really sink in and receive it. And Michael, if you're getting other things, I know you're a medium, so feel free to add if you like.
That's the main sense I get from the energy, is about connection with the unseen to the seen. I know that's the thing we've been talking about. I think, especially in today's age, everything has to be seen as fact in a lot of Western culture, you know, scientific formula proof. But I think with times, shifting and changing, people realize maybe there's more to what is, seen by the naked eye. I mean, that's even with science, and science is catching up to some of these things. So I think that there's just this playfulness to dance of like dancing with the mystery and the unseen with the scene.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. It is so much of it, isn't it? Whew. I can feel my heart really expanding. Okay. So ready to go to number 2? I feel like I'm playing door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. What's behind door number 2? They kind of like this game. Sort of makes it fun for them too. Oh. The water dragon, I'll put up the picture. Let's see. A lot of water elementals are coming in lately, but I think it's partly that full moon. There's so much emotional energy, and I'm always like, like feeling a lot during these full moons. And also because this equinox is such a big stargate and expansion, a lot of emotions can surface to be cleansed and released, and fresh waters and energies can come in. So yeah, so let's open to the water dragon. Sometimes I think of Kuan Yin too, because she rides the water dragon. And this one that Andrea drew is it's kind of like a baby water dragon in a way, with a lot of rainbow energy, which I love, and those orbs. So there's kind of a playful energy as well as a very deep energy. And so I think I'll read what I wrote in the deck, and then we can drop into the energy even more. Becoming crystalline light. I am an elemental guardian of water and primordial force of creation. I spiritualize into crystalline light. I harmonize precious wells, springs, rivers, lakes, and seas by enlightening, mesmerizing, and oxygenating water molecules. I spiral swim powerfully to serve this purpose, up and down, back and forth. I carry emotional truths to imprinted memories and codex of creation for these evolutionary times. So I invite you to tune into that water in your own body. And you might even sense that your crystalline energy of your body may be like a dragon, or there's that inner water dragon of your body elemental. Or it may be that you see one more outside yourself, or in the rivers or ocean or whatever bodies or lakes, bodies of water near you. But just open to attuning with the water dragon. And they love sound too. So if some sound codes want to come through, feel free. She's bringing in, that's what I was feeling, is some sound and chimes. Yeah, there we go. The waters want the sound. And I'm seeing them swimming all over. That was beautiful. Like we can swim with them and move with them and flow through the waterways, through the waterfalls, and also allow the waters to really flow, or waterfalls to fall and flow around us as a cleansing, especially during these full moon times. Emotions, cleansing old emotions, cleansing old patterns, cleansing old beliefs, really allowing the watery mysteries, the feelings, the true feelings, your true feeling nature to be held. And embodying that crystalline light, knowing that as a crystal body, you broadcast, you shine, you send energy out, you radiate. Just imagine you are like a crystal with many facets and much light. And spending time with water, if you pick the number 2 card, spending time at the waters. And you can even ask for the water dragons or water elementals to join you. And they love offerings of yellow flowers and mica and crystals, songs, sound. Yeah, and I'll just open it up if either of you have more you want to bring forward.
I would love to say the bubbles. So actually, the last time I did a journey to the Hall of Records, what I saw was bubbles that looked just like that one that's right in front of his third eye, the colorful one, and in each bubble was a gift. So it was not a heavy journey to the Hall of Records. It was a light journey because this was a giving of gifts. All the gifts that we've ever had in every lifetime in each bubble, and bringing the bubbles into our beings.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. We can just imagine that now. It's interesting too that at first when we created this artwork, there wasn't bubbles in it. And then it was like, it has to have bubbles, it has to have rainbows, it has to have that effervescence. So I love how that comes through. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think so much of what we're in right now is about receiving gifts. It's not always so much, healing and dragging through the mud and struggle and all that old energy, and that's hard. But receiving now. Do you want to share anything, Michael?
Yeah, kind of few little quick things. The bubbles also really stood out to me. I was even imagining early on when I saw like just popping them and then receiving like words, after I popped them. Uh, and then also even with the tail, maybe with the rainbow colors, make me think about how with um, each chakra has a different, frequency to it, and even tuning forks can be like made and tuned to, different, frequencies. So I was kind of imagining like on a xylophone with different, um, musical notes from, C to C, just playing them and seeing how that, you know, resonates in my body. So I think that's something I'm going to do is play with musical instruments and play different notes to see how that can impact my crystalline light embodiment. And yeah, so I don't know what to say at the moment in detail, but just with the
Mm-hmm.
horns, there's just something that really sticks out. Oh, like a snail's what's it called? Shell. I don't know why. It kind of just makes me think about that, what's it called?
Spiral.
Fibonacci spiral. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like this was the card I picked that there might be some ancestral connections because I was feeling a deep embodiment and energy feeling of my father's side. I'm going to take some time to listen to that. And I feel like a message I would say from that lineage would be just to remember that, through our emotions and our, calmness, like water, we can, know and create, what brings us playfulness and joy.
Mm.
I was even like seeing like and feeling kind of like being like a kid again and
Yeah.
blowing bubbles in like a bubble bath.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. That's what I love about this Andrea's artwork too. It brings that playful, joyful energy into this work. So, and also those rainbows. I had this message a lot from the elementals and fairies, and it kind of came in stronger and stronger the last few years of how rainbows and kind of see with that the bubbles and actual rainbows and any way of working with all those colors. It's like when we carry all the colors, like our chakra, then we're really whole and healed, and everything is, we have all the frequencies we need. And so there is such a healing for that. And I think there was something else, but I'll think of it later. Nice. Oh, I know what it was. It was about when I was tuning into Kuan Yin because she rides the dragon, and so much of what they talk about the dragon is it represents illusion and her taming illusion and stomping out the dragon, and it's all like a real negative energy towards the elementals. And I really like to change the stories, and so I was seeing that story that she's riding this water dragon, and it's a fierce water dragon, but actually the water dragon is the what pierces through the illusion. And so the dragons serve in their crystalline way to pierce through the illusions that have separated us from love and light and the truth. So to me, it's kind of changing those old stories of how people would see a picture and, identify with kind of the dark aspects, or I don't know if dark, but just the negative aspects of dragons in general, but to see them with more light and the power that dragons do. They can pierce through illusions and really carry that higher light, that crystalline light to humanity. And they want to do that, and they're coming back really strong, more and more, and especially recently. They want to be with us, want to work with us. They want to be kind of like we have angels, we have dragons, that they're guardians and they're ascension guides and they're teachers and they're allies. So there's a lot of connection we can open to, especially if you drew this card too, of working with dragons more and working with the different kinds of dragons and seeing them as, either you are or you work with them, and I work with them a lot because of land and my land work, but that's another piece of the dragon message. Great. Okay. Right, looks like we have someone else joining. Welcome. The next card is card number 3, and it's our Happy Equinox Flower Fairy card, and curious what will come up. Like I say, it's from my Sacred Spirit deck, which is 44 wildflowers and places in the Columbia River Gorge, which is the Columbia River is the river that separates Washington from Oregon. And in 2000, I was called by the fairies and elementals to go out on the land, in the forests and by the rivers and waterfalls, and start creating flower essences. So that was one of my big moments of opening to that door. And so I've really worked strongly with flower essences for a long time, and with the flower fairies. And when I was out there, there was also land spirits and ancestors, and of course the trees, and all the different plant spirits. So that was a big opening to work with them and connect with them. That kind of led me now to also work with land and grandmothers and that kind of energy as well. So the fairies are really excited. And just like when I work with the flowers and the plants, like it's not always like a fairy kind of energy that comes in. It can be very Davic-like or angelic or indigenous, like with camas or willow, like just to be open, and even to open how you can experience it, because everyone's different. So I invite you to open. Okay, actually I'll put it up on the board. Welcome Maria too. This is probably a lesser known wildflower, but it's in the Lomatium family, for those who are herbalists and know about that. There's a number of different Lomatiums in this area. And this is a bright yellow. It's kind of...
Well, we can't see the flower actually.
Oh, you can't? Okay.
No, we're just seeing a list.
Let me do it again. Sometimes I have to do it twice. There we go. Can you see it now? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to pull out this essence and start by just giving you some of the energy of it, so you can start opening. And this is really my favorite. I've been teaching about flower essences for a long time and connecting with these spirits, and really it's a beautiful way to learn about them and open to this energy. So I'm gonna put some in the water here that everyone can receive. And also I'm going to call in the spirit of this plant, the fairy, the elemental, the deva, the spirit of this plant. And just invite you to open your crown, open your hands, open your heart, and allow these spirits, the spirit, to enter this frequency, the signature of the flower, to gently move into your body. And also your auric field. It likes to work on our aura and kind of bring our auric field into greater balance. Sometimes if one of the fields or all the fields are a little off, this flower can help like bring kind of equal distance on the edges, the sides, the front and back, and anchor you more centered in your auric field. And so just let the medicine move through your system. and it may go to certain places in your body. It may start doing some healing or some repair of your nervous system, aligning of your energy. Just welcome that if you'd like to receive that. And this is an awakener. And you may even notice that your senses or your body warms with the sweetness. It's actually, the scent of this is kind of bitter with the energy of the flower. And it asks you to open your sensitivity. Like, this is a safe space to open. And even imagine you have antenna like this flower. I know the antlers came in for Michael, so it's interesting that energy came through, that we all have. There is his antenna, his deer buck antlers. So whatever form of kind of perceptive ways you connect and sense. And this is a really great way to tune into the different realms, the unseen realms, the fairy realms, the spirit realms, to allow yourself to open and be like this flower and just imagine sensing into all that's around you. Nice. And so we'll just open to any messages that are coming through. I just want to I'm referencing my book a little bit first, that a balanced state of working with this flower is a state of being that allows a gentle, subtle awareness and emergence of the true self. It feels like these three cards are in such beautiful alignment, like letting us bring forward this more gentle, sensitive aspect of the unseen world. Did you want to share something, Michael? No? Okay.
I do. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
I was just
do?
taking a breath.
Okay, okay.
My ears down for a second.
Yeah, I was just feeling that coming through, so.
So it just feels like this motion with my auric field. Not literally the best wording, but like it feels just like there's just layers shaving off. Kind of like how the bucks will let go of their antlers in the wintertime. So it feels like, just kind of getting the last little bit, off from winter. So then I can, start do some growing. And it definitely felt like a lot of ancestral healing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think we're at that time where there is a lot of ancestral healing. So I love that you're really resonating with that, with these different energies too. Aliza, did you want to share anything?
Yeah, to me, it feels like a purifier. I feel like my blood is just like flowing, like it opened up and it's flowing. Well, that goes with the water, doesn't it? And also, just by the way, the two horns on the water dragon.
Yeah, right. The antlers.
Just saying.
Of course, no accident. We're going to be walking around this from now on with our, right? I mean, That's right. Spread your right. It's kind of like our wings too, like, right? Those, whatever.
So also for me, this looks, uh, it looks like two different parts of the body to me. One is actually the brain somehow. Um, and so it's like opening up the flower here. That's one. And two, it looks like the lungs to me. And I have issues with my lungs. So it's like a purifier for my lungs. And I think that's why I picked three.
Yeah.
Because, and parsley is like, it's it's really good for you for like detoxification and everything moving through, I think, moving through your body. Um, so yeah, that's what it feels like to me. And um,
Nice.
well, the color is also like the color of wisdom.
Beautiful. I love to like tuning into flowers this way because they also like go exactly to what we need. Whatever, like even though there might be, things about certain flowers and yeah, lomatiums definitely are cleansing, they're antiviral, like the Lomatium dissectum is in this family, and that's one that was used with the flu epidemic in the 1918,
Interesting.
way back.
What is it? Lomation?
It's a Lomatium. The Latin name is Lomatium grayi. So it's one of the native ones around here, but no, there's, like I say, quite a few in the family, and they're very sacred to the native people here. The indigenous people use them for medicine and ceremony and food, and the different kinds have different, some have vitamin C in their leaves, and some are like really strong for fighting illness or disease, which also like lung related. I mean,
Oh,
I always think of Lomatium dissectum when I think of like the pandemic or different, you know, illnesses going around. Like we should be using those medicines more, those herb medicines. I know herbalists do that, but I think there's a lot there that we can explore. And also in terms of like some visuals I got when I was making this. Oh, actually, this is really interesting. I just remembered. This is one of the early ones I made. And I had a vision of a deer jumping across the area. So there's deer medicine, which is big medicine for me too. And then, and also for fairies, like fairy and deer. The fairy realms and the deers are like, there's even like this joke about like fairies have herds of deer, that are part of their experience. But also, it's the other image that came up first making it was like masks, like that there was a mask on the ground, and it was like that way that we may wear masks in our lives. Masks to hide our true selves or to fit in, or because our parents said you couldn't be this, or because we work somewhere we don't, resonate. Or so this one really helps to kind of like shed those masks. And it sounds like the experiences you were both having, like the shedding and then the opening, like were kind of part of that energy. So that was pretty cool. And I just want to open, Maria joined us. So if you'd like to share anything about your experience or comment, feel free.
Yeah, I had to kind of rush to get here and I was still late, so
Okay.
I'm not really tuned in so much right now, but I love flower essences and I find that they are very helpful. So whatever you say, I totally believe it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for joining.
Yeah, my camera is broken, so that's why
Okay.
I have
That's why you're just
just a name.
can't see you. We can't see you, right? But you're there. You're there. Yeah, so I think what we'll do just for the remaining time is, well, first, if there's any other questions about any of those energies, but I thought it'd be nice to kind of think about them all as one. Like we were getting a lot of these messages about all, when we work with them together in this equinox cycle, those messages, the deer and the antenna and sensitivity and the horns and the seen and unseen, and really awakening to our true selves. So I'd like to make space for maybe to go in one more time. And anyone want to say anything before we do that?
Sure. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, Maria, do you want to?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if there's gonna be a replay.
Yeah, you can watch the rest of it. It'll be I'll send it out to everybody so you can watch it, the rest of
Okay.
it. Yeah, because you missed the first two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
the first one was the she fairy realms,
you.
and the second was the water dragon,
Okay.
and then we did the flower, the pungent desert parsley.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Aliza?
Yeah, this is my mind is actually not, my memory is not working too well right now. The parsley actually reminds me of another herb, which has like that fern-like look. Yeah, it has a fern-like look at the bottom, and then it has the yellow flowers, and I actually have it here sometimes.
Like fennel or?
Fennel, thank
Yeah.
you. I couldn't think of fennel.
Yeah, yeah.
And the caterpillars of a butterfly love the fennel and eat it, and then they become butterflies. Black swallowtail, I think it is.
Okay.
So it just reminded me of that, and it's just like
Yeah.
brings in more fairy energy and emerging into your truth.
Mm-hmm. And what's really interesting too, I'm glad you said that, because this is a Pacific Northwest plant, and so also like Michael lives in Ohio, you're in New Jersey. I'm not sure where Maria is, but like we live in different places, so it may be that there's other ones that you can tune into that are near you, that will bring that kind of quality of energy. I know they all are specific too, but just that you're having a resonance. So yeah, the fennel kind of has some resonance there, so that might be something to work with for you. Yeah, it's like the doctrine of signatures too has a lot of power, and that's like the shape and the color and the size and the texture and the way plants grow and express. There's certain patterns and similarities that have different qualities to them. So nice. All right, well, let's just go in one more time and just calling forth the she, the water dragon, and the pungent desert parsley to create the circle with us, and help in any way help us open and receive to these energies of the equinox, of this time, of this cycle. Maybe help us drop those masks and really open to our antenna, our sensitivity as a gift, as something that we can use more and share more, and let go of what has kept us and our ancestors from being able to express fully or use their own sensitivity as a way to open. He o ti a we o I a te the grandmothers giving us a blessing as well. And also the blessing of the Divine Mother, the Earth Mother. And anything else that we just want to shed and allow these beautiful new energies that can really light us up, light up our crystalline energy, light up our colors inside, light up our path. Light up our community and the communities that can connect you with your heart more. And the bubbles, let's bring in the bubbles too. If there's any gifts, any qualities, energies, frequencies, anything you're needing, you can just invite those bubbles in at this time. You can have them come in your crown, in your hands, in your feet, in your heart. And as I come in, I can kind of see our wings stretching wider too, allowing our fairy wings or bird, angel, dragon, whatever kind of wings. And that will also help kind of open up to those multidimensional gifts and your up-leveling process. I'm just seeing a little bit more energy work on each one of us, and then we can start coming back. Kind of like there's spiral dancing around each one of us to ground. And bring through. And also to know that that spiral that's coming through is, I think Elisa and I were talking about that too, is like the dance of the dragons, the male and female dragons of Gaia. It's also the dance of the DNA, of our healing of our ancestry, the healing and awakening, the releasing and bringing through of these new codes, these new new golden codes of our DNA. So just ground that into Mother Earth, into her core, and bring yourself back to your body. Really integrate all this lovely energy. And let it circulate in your body. Beautiful. Well, I feel really good. I don't know about you guys. Really enjoyed having you all on the call. And yeah, it feels like it gives a nice focus. Like if you picked a certain card to kind of focus on that energy or that element, and to allow that healing from those beings as well. Great. So is there anything else anyone would like to share or add before we close? Nope.
What flower essences do you use?
Pardon?
What flower essences do you use?
My own. You'll
What-
see when you go back to the thing. I've created hundreds of them, but my book and my essences and my card deck is all self-created from flower essences in the Columbia River Gorge.
Oh, actually,
yeah.
I have the book. I
you
bought
do?
it a long time
Okay.
ago.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then also there's, of course, flower essences. I know Elisa makes a lot of them. You can make your own.
Oh.
People make them all over the world. So if you're tuned into like, oh, I need Hawaiian energy, you can
Right.
get them from there. Although I do.
I live in Florida, and we don't have a lot of the northern.
Yeah, but you can order them. Yeah, you can I have quite a few. A lot of other people have them, beautiful essences. Yeah, and you can make you can make them of trees. You can even make them of, animals or experiences or places as well. So it's basically the vibrational energy or frequency of whatever you're making them of. So,
Right. Okay.
yeah. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to turn off the